Anyone who's ever messed with a F750 knows that it's gutless and slow, but they've just released some upgrades. They have a new engine for it and bigger suspension. I guess you can't get bigger tires for it, but it will help it to get more clearance in the mud. The upgrades are on the Kola Peninsula. There's one on each map. I did put the chains on because we're going to need them. I'm going to mark the map. That should get us in the right location. This isn't the smallest engine, but it's not the biggest either. We're going to get the biggest one right now. Well, I went as far as I could go in high gear. They should be able to do it a little bit better when we get this other engine upgrade. This upgrade has been long overdue. This is what we brought the chains for. This truck might actually be usable once we get a new upgraded engine and upgraded suspension. There could be quicker ways to get out here, but I thought it would be fitting to bring the F750 since it's the one going to be getting the upgrades. I don't know how I made that extra mark on the map. I thought it might be better to show you how to get there all the way through instead of just pointing to it on the map. I might actually like this old truck once I get the engine upgraded and hauler suspension. The suspension isn't really that bad because we have raised suspension. The stock engine for this thing was gutless, and the mid-grade engine isn't really much better. And I'm thinking if this engine here makes it just a little bit better, this truck would be highly usable. You can already rock crawling things with it right now, but you can't do it with a fuel tank on the back of it. If this engine makes it be able to do that with a trailer, we'll be in business. be able to use it to pull generators and things like that. I'll be able to use it to pull generators and things like that. I think if that special suspension we're going to get for it is going to raise it a little bit higher, we should be able to get bigger wheels for it. Maybe they'll release that update soon. I think maybe that new suspension upgrade would help in this situation we're in right now. I'm sure they'll release bigger wheels to go with it. Otherwise, you'll just be dragging the axles across the top of the mud all the time. I can't tell if that's the reflection from the sky in the water or it's the reflection from oil. In this case, the ice chunks are actually giving us traction. We're dragging through the mud though. This truck is totally gutless, even with this mid-grade engine in it. It's definitely sinking up to the axles. I don't see how a raised suspension is going to help much. We're going to need bigger wheels to go with that. Putting bigger wheels on it though might make it gutless again. I guess that could be an option. Just put swamp tires on it, like what's on the A and K. This is just a little bit slick and steep. are some areas of thin ice, and if we hit it, we're sunk. It looks like a blizzard. We have to cross somewhere over here and get up on the road. That should get us there. If this truck can do that same thing with a tank on the back of it after getting this upgrade, I'll be impressed. This truck can get around fairly well with this engine in it, but when you put a tank on the back of it, it's a different story. And this is super snow. I'm going to try to go around as much of this as I can. I had to hit that tree to stop me or I would have rolled over. I gotta get my angle right. I was just trying to get out of that super snow. It's avalanche material, I guess. My natural instinct was to throw it up into high gear, but I'm afraid of those rocks. We'd be stalled out real quick, maybe even flipped over. I've got to stay next to the rock. You got to keep grinding it and wiggling it just a little bit and it'll come out. I broke my only winch point. This must be avalanche snow. I'm wiggling it and it's not moving. I think we just got too far away from the rock. There shouldn't be any more avalanche snow that we have to go through. Well, there went my coffee. That's basically where it is. We just gotta find a way to get there without being stuck. I know this is all a frozen lake, so I'm gonna go around the side of these trees and use the winch to get in. I could have probably went under the bottom side, but I can get through this anyways. I don't know if we're doing it the easy way or the hard way, but we're doing it. This is all just a big frozen pond. we're getting some winch practice now. Upgrade location discovered. HET-10V 6.6. A real monster, designed as an engine. Unlimited power. Ferocious appetite. Living proof of science gone way too far. And it's for the Ford F750. Let's go put it on here and see what it will do. We'll test it out when we go look for that other upgrade. Whoa, now that's considerably more horsepower. And I can pull a trailer fairly well now. We're going to test it on the lake, and then we're going to test it on some rock crawling. It sounds a little bit tougher, and it has a little bit more power. Actually, a lot more power. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. There are a few spots on here that you can break through. And you're supposed to avoid these giant chunks of ice, because if you hit them the right way, they'll flip you over. And they can do some massive damage. It's been a while since I've been over here, so I'm gonna have to go see if I can cross right there. If not, we'll have to go around it. There are some patches of thin ice. We're pretty much driving across the entire lake. That's thin ice right there. I'm gonna have to go around it. We're going up there, but we have to go around the thin ice. Can't take off and hike. There's a place to cross down here somewhere. Let's see what the map looks like. We just have to drive through these big ice chunks. That engine upgrade really makes a difference on this truck. This is where we cross. The engine upgrade totally transformed this thing. Now they just need to give us some new tires for it. We're coming up on the area where we have to do the rock crawling. That's the way we're going. This thing is awesome with all that extra power. Here comes the rock crawling. This thing don't run out of horsepower. a big difference from the other engine. Upgrade location discovered. Tuned custom suspension. A specially customized suspension kit, the ultimate weapon against rough terrain and ruined country roads. For the F750. Let's get back to the garage. We'll install it and test it a little bit. I'll see how hard it is to flip over. We have more lift. I'm just going to get rid of those chains. We won't be using those for a while. Let's see how much trouble it has moving around a fuel trailer. I have one out by the road just outside the garage. It has enough weight to roll me. Let's hook up to it. This thing's a whole lot quicker with that new engine. I would probably need to take it through the swamp and the super snow and all that to really test out this suspension. But I'm thinking with these regular tires, it ain't gonna help a whole lot. I'd have to have bigger wheels. It seems to have better ground clearance. I can't cut that curve. Well, the developers have delivered. This makes a good Scout now.